It's been cold and windy, but I've been getting a lot done around the homestead. Because I don't have unlimited resources, sometimes I have to dry something in, sometimes I have to do siding. You know, I don't have all of the materials, and so I kind of jump around. And this morning I dried in the front of the building and the end, and then insulated the end before I ran out of insulation, which means that I'll be able to do siding today on this end of the cabin. Most of the cabin is built out of 2x8s, and I just had them rip those in half for siding. So I've got 1x8s for siding, and it'll be board and batten around the entire cabin. The wind is really picking up today, and I'm happy that I was finished with that by the time, 8 o'clock, before, the wind is about 25 mile an hour right now, maybe 30, 40 mile an hour gusts. So I came inside and decided to put in some of these hurricane straps on the joist, on the rafters. And, that makes a lot of sense right now before it's too windy, right? Because all of my lumber is rough cut, I have to bend any brackets that I have just a little bit to get them to fit, because this is dimensional lumber, and a 2x4 at the store is 1.5 inches, not 2 inches. This is actually 2 inches thick. So I have just around 64 rafters throughout the entire cabin that I'll be putting these on. Oh man, am I happy that I have this much of the cabin done, because it's windy out there and it could be a little concerning to have less walls complete. I do have 2 open walls down there, but sheathing is a large part of what holds something together. A lot of people accuse me of working too hard, and I don't plan to work this hard my entire life. I did a lot of construction and labor for other people when I was younger, and I really banged my body up, and I kind of promised myself that I'll never do that hard work for someone else, but I can do it for myself. And I've been building the infrastructure up for my homestead so that I can have food, water, and shelter. And the cabin's almost finished. I could always build a larger cabin several years down the road. But the point is, soon most of the infrastructure for my homestead will be in place. And I'll even upgrade what I have, but I won't be building like this forever. And then at that point, it'll be about focusing on the garden, the livestock, enjoying life. I don't have to work this hard the rest of my life, but I don't regret one bit spending the last 5 years busting my ass so that I can own my land, my house, my truck, and everything I have, in fact, in full. I don't have anything on credit, and I have very little debt. And personally, I think that's a pretty awesome route to take. I have to pick up at least one more load of lumber, which is a trailer full. Half of it will be just 2x8s, and the other half will be 1x8s for siding. So I have 2 more walls downstairs that I have to sheathe, and then I have 2 walls downstairs that need siding, and 3 walls upstairs that need siding. I dried in these 2 sides this morning, insulated that, and sided that one. And that way, upstairs and downstairs are completely done on that end, so I can start to install air conditioning and heating in the cabin. With these 2 walls, once those are sheathed, then I can finish them, and I cut out the front doors here so I can still get it in and out while I'm doing all that. And then you see the way that this is framed in. There's extra framing around the door. That makes the casing to the door, it's actually like a 5x8. And I'm gonna hang the door with bolts and big metal straps. And I'll cut out another double door like that over here. This is the kitchen, and it'll go out to the pergola out there. And then, you know, all these windows, these walls will at least have a small window, and many of them will have a really large, like a 35-inch window. So every wall should have a window or a door in it. The two sides of the cabin still need the decking finished outside. But once all the wood is up, and then I can dry it in, insulate it, that won't take long, and hang this door. And from there, I could potentially put in heat and air conditioning and move in, and then just continue construction until the place is done around me. You know, maybe finish the bedroom as fast as possible, so I've got one space that I can always retreat to that's finished and clean and organized, which is larger than the camper van I live in now, and then I can continue to work on everything else. Check out my free ultimate guide to off-grid living in the description below, and subscribe so you don't miss future videos about my cabin.